I'm really, really, really set on the fact that everyone's journey is different. Everything is beautiful in its time. Hey guys, welcome back to Legally Diverse. It's your girl Nadine. On this platform, I create content on law and lifestyle. So I create content on the legal recruitment process and the different legal practice areas, and eventually I'm going to be providing content a bit more lifestyle-like. So if you're new to this platform, make sure that you subscribe. If you're returning, make sure you subscribe and also click the notification bell so you know every time that I upload, because this year, 2022, is going to be more regular. In this video, as you know by the title, I'm going to be talking about rejections. That thing that we always kind of expect may happen at some point in time, but when it happens, it's the ghetto. Like, I have no other word to describe it. And as someone who's gone through more than 100 rejections, damn! We're gonna have to get into how you can deal with it and how you can stay motivated so that you can achieve your ultimate goal of getting to that training contract stage. So stay tuned and we'll get straight into it. So the first thing I want to say is, girl, guy, bro, sis, hun, whatever, it's okay to be upset. Cry the tears you need to cry, moan how you need to moan, whatever you need to do to get your emotions out, get it out. Because at the end of the day, let's be realistic. You spent hours, whether it was the research stage, the networking stage, the drafting stage of the application form, attending the assessment center, preparing for the video interview, you spent time, hours, you emotionally invested yourself in this firm. So I think it's first important to just process your emotions and allow yourself to feel the way you feel. Like, don't negate the feelings that you have. Don't brush it off. Like, it's okay to feel it, because your feelings and how you feel about it will motivate you to not ever feel that way again. Sorry, I say that, but I kind of kept feeling it. But the point of this video is to make sure that I give you the tools and the tips you need so that you don't feel it again. Tip number 1, go through your feedback. Depending on what stage of the application process you were rejected at, you should have received feedback, and that should be your starting point. You want to make sure that you read through all of the feedback that you received and you start to make active notes as to what you're going to do next time to make sure that you improve on their feedback. So whether it's that they thought you didn't structure your answers well in the interview, then you may want to start to look at implementing the STAR method, which is the situation, task, action, result. And then to add my little spin onto things, I also do reflection and application. So actually, on this point, if you want a separate video on my STAR method and how I apply it to like competency interviews, drop STAR in the comments box. And let's say if I get at least 10 STAR comments, I'll do another video. You lot also need to motivate me to do YouTube content because it's not always easy. So yeah, that's the first thing. And taking it a step back for a moment, in order for you to have written feedback, you need to have actually listened to the feedback when you received it and wrote the feedback down. Now, the reason why I say that is because honestly and truly and honestly, whatever way around it is, when I first received feedback at the assessment center stage for 2 particular law firms, I cannot, for the life of you, tell me what that feedback was. And the reason for that is, you know, when you spend a lot of time on a law firm, you get excited, you think, this is it. You start planning your life, you start planning your seats, you start networking and setting lunch dates with these people, and then you don't get it. It's like, I'm tired, I'm done, don't talk to me. So when I would receive feedback, or the 2 times that I received feedback, I was so emotional at the fact that they had told me no, that I kind of zoned out. The fact that I didn't write that feedback down really did hinder me going forward, because I couldn't quite remember what parts of the process I needed to work on. So whenever you know you're going to have that feedback call, make sure you have your pen, your paper, and make sure that you're ready to make notes about all of the feedback that you're receiving, so that once you've got past the emotional stage, you can start to be really practical about what you need to do going forward. If you were rejected at a stage that didn't provide you with feedback, so for example, if you were rejected at the application form stage, then it's obviously very, very, very unlikely that you wouldn't have received formal feedback from graduate recruitment. But that's not to say that you can't analyze in the same way. Were there any spelling and grammar errors? And then also make sure that everything's within the word limit. Check the date that you submitted it. With all law firms, they generally have a big application window. So the application window may be from October of one year till June, July of the following year. If you submitted your application form maybe the week before the deadline, and that law firm in particular looks at application forms on a rolling basis, then inevitably you put yourself at a disadvantage if you apply last minute. So go back to that law firm's website, see how they recruit, remind yourself of their recruitment process. Did you submit your application form too late? Did you put yourself in a position where you're competing for even less positions than would have been originally advertised? Similarly, you want to analyze whether you did enough research. So did you do enough research into the law firm and their practice? And did you display your commercial awareness? Those are things that are rather essential in an application form. They want to know that you didn't just copy and paste the information from one application to the next. So they want to feel special. Did you make them feel special? Did you speak about their deals? Did you speak about their lawyers? Did you speak about their expertise? Did you speak about their place in the market? Did you speak about their goals? Did you speak about where you fit into them as a law firm? All of this is the type of things that you want to be checking when you're doing your own analysis and critique of your application form. Because once you do that, you have a good list or a good idea of what you want to improve going forward. I know we've all heard that saying that, if you do the same things, you get the same results. So if you're not being very critical about where you currently are and where it is that you're probably lacking, then you can't make yourself better for the next time round. So emotion stage out of the way, feedback and reflection is next. So tip number 2. This tip is all about leaning on friends and family for additional support. With the law application process and with law as a profession in general, you need the support of other people around you because the process can be brutal. Like rejection can really make you doubt whether you're good enough, whether this is a career for you, whether you deserve to be here, whether you have what it takes. And so leaning on friends and family who know the qualities you have, who believe in your abilities is so, so important. And in addition to that, avoid the people that don't give that. Like, this is not the time for your auntie to call you and be asking, questioning what you're doing with your life, where you want to go next, whether there's something else you should be looking into. It's not the time for that. Please, it's not the time for that. So if you know that you have a particular friend or family member that may be a bit more negative, avoid them during this part of the process, because this is the time where you need to focus on what it is you want. And I think it's so important that you don't make decisions about your life based on other people's thoughts or perceptions on your abilities. Like, there's nothing wrong with seeking advice. There's nothing wrong with people sharing their insights and stuff like that. But you don't want to make decisions about what you can do based on what other people think you can do. So avoid. My tip number 3 is to be flexible. Now, sometimes rejection can be a redirection. So sometimes it is a case of, okay, the way in which you're going maybe isn't what you should be focusing on. I come across a lot of mentees or a lot of people who want to enter their profession that are applying for positions or applying to law firms that they think they should apply to because it's what everyone else is doing, and it's not really where their interests lie, or it's not really where their heart is. And so sometimes it's good to take a step back, evaluate what it is you want, and be flexible with your process. I know for me, when I first entered the profession, I was so convinced I was going to be a criminal lawyer. I thought, yep, I'm going to go to court, I'm going to represent clients, miscarriages of justice, all of that type of jazz. And then after some work experience, I realized it's a bit too emotional for me. Then I ended up in employment and then loved it, but I thought, okay, let me keep exploring my options. And with that, I then did some time in real estate, and now I'm interested in corporate M&A, and I'm interested in IP, and I'm interested in all these different things. And I say that to say that your legal journey is your legal journey. Be flexible with it, be kind to yourself, and keep learning. If you're not 100% convinced that a particular law firm is for you, or a particular practice area for you, or a particular sector is right for you, then be flexible. Take some time to explore that area and practice. Take some time to do additional research. Like, it's not mandatory to get a training contract before you finish university. It's not mandatory to get your training contract in your first application cycle. Like, sometimes allow yourself to fill out the legal profession, allow yourself to network with legal individuals and figure out what a good legal career will look like for you. Like, it has literally taken me 10 years since starting my law degree. And it's now that I'm on the journey that I feel like I should be on, because I know what I like, I know what I don't like. I'm going into my training contract confident that I have a better idea of what I want out of a legal career. And sometimes, the tortoise wins the race. The tortoise wins the race. Jeez. Sometimes slow and steady is where it's at. Like, don't force yourself to know everything straight away. Don't force yourself into a particular pigeonhole straight away. A lot of people go into private practice and think, no, I like in-house better. I like this, I like that. Like, be flexible with your journey and enjoy it. Now, my next tip is all about comparison culture. Comparison culture. Yeah, we all know what it is. We live in an age of social media where you scroll on Instagram for a minute and you're like, oh, that looks nice. Oh, I wish I was there. Oh, they're doing better than I am. Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, especially not during the stage of, I just received a rejection. My life is over. I don't know if this is for me. This is not the time to go on things like LinkedIn and see everyone's, oh, I got a training contract post. Like, nah. Don't compare yourself to others. Similar to the last point I made about like loving and enjoying and exploring your own legal journey, focus on that. Don't worry about or stress about the fact that your peer, your age mate, your classmate has just received their training contract and you got similar grades to them, you have similar experience to them, and why are they so much better than you? Don't compare yourself to others. Why? Because I'm really, really, really set on the fact that everyone's journey is different. Everything is beautiful in its time, and your journey isn't any less great because it's taken a different amount of time or it's taken a different route. And finally, I just want to say, don't give up, keep going. Like, keep going. I understand 100% how hard it is. I went through 5 or 6 application rounds myself. Like, it is stressful, it is daunting, it is heavy on the heart, it's heavy on the head, quote, all Stormzy. But keep going. Like, if you know you really want to study law, if it's really what you want to do, you make it happen. You make it happen. Don't allow yourself to come up with excuses. Oh, it's because I didn't go to this university. Oh, it's because I didn't get this grade. Oh, it's because I don't know anyone in the profession. Like, with every excuse, there's always something you can do about it. If you don't know anyone in the profession, you go on LinkedIn and you start to network with people. Type in a practice area that you like, or type in a law firm that you like, and reach out to that person and ask them for advice. If you didn't get the best grades, start to look for firms that don't emphasize or have such strict see how passionate I am, I can't even speak. Look for firms who are not so strict in their grade requirements. Also, make use of the mitigating circumstances box in the application form, and make sure that every other part of your application form is A1. Like, make sure your experience is there. Make sure that your firm research and commercial awareness is there, so that, okay, they'll look at your grades and be like, not quite sure about this candidate, but wow, they are absolutely dedicated to our firm. They definitely know what's going on in the market, and they have experience that demonstrates the skills that we've said on our website we are looking for. So there's always a way around it. If you don't have experience, go on websites like The Forage and do a virtual internship, and then do it for the firms in particular that you want to apply to, and demonstrate in the application form that, look, I know the type of work that you do at the firm because I spent 6 hours doing your virtual internships and I'm more passionate about it now than ever. For me, I don't do excuses. For any problem, there's a solution. You find a solution and you make it work. Something that's helped me at different points in my legal journey is like writing down my whys. So when it came to me thinking about, actually, do I want to study law? Is law something that I'm going to be good at if all these firms are not giving me the opportunity? And I started to write down my why. Like, why do I want to be a lawyer? Why do I want to be a solicitor? Why do I think commercial law is good for me? And based on my experience, based on my conversations with people, based on comparing it to other careers and stuff like that, I was able to write down my why. And once you're convicted in why you want to do it, it's so much easier to keep going and to keep pushing. So yeah, write down your whys. Make sure that with every problem that you face, you create a solution. Have people around you that are going to keep motivating you. Avoid that comparison culture and keep going. If you continuously critique yourself and continuously analyze your progress, you know, assess what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you should improve on and stuff like that, then you will always be doing better because you'll always be building on something. And then the more you do that, the closer you'll get to your dreams. Honestly, I didn't start doing this properly until about 2019. And then by 2021, January, I got my training contract offer. So yeah, that is it from me, guys. How I got through rejection, how I stayed motivated. I really, really hope you have found this video helpful. If you have, please, what am I trying to say? Please click the like button. It really does help my videos. It really does. Drop a comment. Let me know if you want me to do a video on the STAR method. So the STARR plus method for competency interviews. Let me know if there's anything else that you'd like a video on. And if you're comfortable, feel free to share with everyone else how it is that you stay motivated and how it is that you've pushed forward despite the rejections you have faced. Turn on the notification bell, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!